and we already take the chapter of this Association Middle East North Africa region. I will talk about the KPI. Almost indicate all of us know these days, but I want to go to what both my help you can tailor and KPI. There is a well-known form you can steer and not measure. So how do I know that my department when I have a great order? You must have a tool that you come to this tool at the end of the day, at the end of the month, so you can know that your department is really going. What is KPI? KPI is performance indicator. This is not a tool. KPI is a measurement. It's a statistic data we use to measure the current condition and to forecast future conditions. Using KPI, I know where I'm exactly standing on, and I can put a vision where I can. As I said, it's not a goal, it's just a measure. To make or to attain an effective KPI, it should have a lot of character. First, it should be simple. Make the I simple. Don't have a lot of situations KPI that your team cannot figure them out. Just make it simple, easy to measure. Should leave no any normal place for question from your. Other thing, it should be realistic. It's okay to put a KPI that I want to push my team a little. It's okay, but don't just stretch it too much that your team feels that's impossible to achieve. Another character, it should be measurable. You cannot just say that I will have the greatest sterilization. Shouldn't have measure that you have the great sterilization ever. It should be measurable. Last thing, it should be it should be visible. No, you from making a great KPI and just hide it in the drawer, no one sees. So the KPI should be visible. You hang it so all your can. And I have a note. It's okay that when I am the director of the department, that I want to make it a department, I want to make a lot of KPI. This is not how. Because if your team see that there is a lot of KPI, you will just have a conflict and we will know what. So make it simple. Start with a small I. Let your team digest KPI very well and understand it very well. Then you can start with KPI one by one or few by. Okay, how this KPI will help my boss say I will listen to you, I will make a KPI, thank my department is still the same. I didn't use it. We'll use the KPI to demonstrate the efficiency of your department, because you will see, let's have an example. You will have the production cost control. I will know, is this shift already going well or no? Is what is the time between when I receive the contaminated item till I deliver these sterile items? What is the cost to their batch? What is the cost to their tray? So I can know. The KPI helping me show the profitability. It can show me the internal and the external performance of my part. So KPI will help you improving your part. Okay, I want to fail the KPI. I want to make it for my department. How can I? First of all, you should know your strategy. Then adapt it to a KPI. I have a strategy that I want to have the shortest time since I deliver from taking the contaminated items to deliver these sterile items. This is the strategy. How can I make it? I should put an objective 1, 2, 3. Then I will put my KPI to meet this objective. KPI, how we do it? First of all, collect the data. Then we formate the data. Then we analyze the data. Analyzing the data is very important. No use from having the huge raw material. Then and I have my graph. Then nothing. Just hang. So analyzing the data is very. From where we can collect the data? We collect the data from your tracking system, from your sheets, from your table, from HR in your department, from your leader. It depends on which data. So you collect them, and then you should format it. You should present the data. Choose any kind of format that is suitable for the data and suitable for the person who will see the data. Very important, because as we all know, when you this KPI will be for the top management. You cannot just book a lot of talk and a lot of things. Top management don't have the time. Just specific time, choose the very the data that the format that it will be much suitable for. And last thing, and the important thing in my opinion, is to analyze very critically. You should analyze the data to what? To compare yourself, to benchmark it. You should compare yourself for you in the past, for my situation now, so I will know where I'm going. Do I improve or not? And then you should benchmark not just in to yourself. You should benchmark yourself to another sterilization department in another hospital, but similar to you, maybe like same university, same specialty, same number of beds, but you should benchmark yourself to know where you are from. We have a lot types of indicators. There is activity indicator, productivity one, quality indicator, and HR indicator, and there is other activity indicator. This one is measure what happened in my body, what is the operation in my body, like number of steps, number of things, number of feedback, all the damage strength. This is the operation activity, what I am already doing. This is the activity KPI. And there is the productivity KPI. Productivity KPI, it tells me what the machine or devices in my department give product. So productivity KPI, like the machine, just like the number of cycles the machine, number of cycles the autoclave, number of tray that I already produce. And these cost price and calculate the process time. As I mentioned before, the process time is the time starting from I receive the contaminated item till I deliver the sterile one. So calculate this time is a productivity KPI. Productivity KPI can help me to in the performance of my work, and it can help me to know where is the improvement area that I can put my hands on so I can my work. The most popular and famous KPI is the quality. Quality KPI, in my opinion, this is the quality of the department is the key of the department. Because I might think that I have the great department, but what is of my client? And our client is our healthcare. Our client in the sterilization department, surgeon, who are nurse, our nurses in the other department. So are they satisfied about how I provide the service for them? This is very important. Do they have a complaint? Do I have a complaint towards them? This is very, very important feedback. And for sure it will help performance of the department. HR KPI, we mostly take these KPIs from the HR department, and it's like a free, and this will help me to steer with my department and to use my staff approach. Other KPIs like operating system over and like emergency request analysis. Emergency request analysis is very important KPI. How my staff deal with the emergency request analysis. What if there is a special set, the OR keep needed, use it and need it, use it and need it, use it and need it. How I deal with it? What if the OR open a set and there is shortage in the items? How do I deal with it? So KPI from how I deal with emergency requests is very important and indicates performance. I can use the KPI in my department as a management tool and as a management tool to help me as a manager in the direction to steer my department. It will help me to communicate very well with my colleagues, depends on facts, not on speed. Because you may hear that, oh, I'm very late, you take 4 hours to bring me back the sterile items. But KPI says no, it's just 2 hours and a half. It does not take all this time. So KPI is your fact. You can communicate very well. You can change your strategy as a management. When you said, no, I will reduce the number of staff in a specific shift, the staff will, why? It's money, it's WAPA. But the number of shifts, the number of staff, which is 15, giving me the same result as the number of shifts when it's 10. So reducing the number is a strategy, and I support it with the KPI because I have the result, I have the productivity. Also, I can use it as a negotiation tool, and we all need a negotiation tool with our top management. Because no one goes to his top management and know that he will come back. But because top management mostly is seeking money, so when I go to the top management, I need an extra set. Didn't just go to your department. No, the KPI said so because they are not satisfied. The operation are late because the number of sets because it takes, and I showed them the KPI. So it's a negotiation tool, very successful negotiation tool. It has advantage for sure, and it does make more productive dialogue with top management and a constructive dialogue with your client. And as I said, my client is my client. So when they telling me anything, I have my evidence-based KPI. When to share it with I will share it with them in the cycling meeting. When to share it with the client, I will share it with them in the OR committee. I will share it with them in the infection control committee. When to share it with the top management, I will share it with them in the infection control committee, or if I need something from the top management. Here is an example of a table as a raw data to help you have a vision what I'm talking about as a KPI raw data. This table is quite one. because this is a Bovidex, and we all know that Bovidex is good morning also class. So in this table, I know how many Bovidex exactly I did in the month and how many of them passed. This one is productivity one, because this telling me the number of cycles in the machine, number of cycles in the autoclave. So this is the productivity. I know exactly number of cycles as I already. This another one, but it's a quality one also, and we all know the biological tell me how the percentage of biological, and the most important satisfaction of my work. How I will measure it? Will measure it by failure or making a survey that will be sent to our colleagues in the hospital, that will tell us if they are satisfied about our service. There is important item I will mention here. I hope that it will help you if you need to make your own survey. First, in the packing, you should ask them: is the packing proper? Do you see the expiry date of packing? Is the dressing package is adequate, or is there any missing in the back? This is very important point to be in. And does the exact number of sterilized item you sent, you receive it or no? And does the CSSD provide you a regular information update about cleaning at the end view point? Also, time is very important in the survey. You should ask them if the collection time is proper and the delivery time is proper. Also, the whole week should be. And my staff behavior. Is the staff wearing their proper PPE, masks, and gloves while they're collecting the contaminated instruments? And when you call the department asking for something, does the staff respond to your inquiry promptly? The last and important thing should be in your survey to measure the satisfaction is about the item. Do the other departments receive their item clean or no, damaged or no, properly sterilized, in a working condition, and adequate? I hope this is helping you know how to tailor your KPI and.
Thank you, Dr. Amer, for a very good presentation. Basically, like in Indian scenario, when we talk about the key performance indicators, as you have covered almost everything, we talk mostly about the Indian scenario and telling about the infrastructure of the CSS. So many places we found that unidirectional flow of the air and the manpower, the traffic patterns has not been really defined. And I can say even a very good corporate hospital won't maintain the environmental conditions required for the CSSD and also for the sterile storage rooms and all. Coming to the second point, as you said, the manpower and the competency of the work is very, very important. And also we have a KPI in CSSD as a chemical and biological indicators, like you said. But many of the CSSDs I have seen they keep class 1 indicator, which is a process indicator. It is not valid to use on the sets to see the efficiency of the sterilization. If you see the class 1 indicator, it is called as a process indicator. It is an outdated one. If you just iron it, it will change the color. So you cannot use it for knowing the efficiency of the sterilization cycle. And the last part, as you have said, is suppose if you are using the type of sterilization in the CSS, if I am using ETO or steam or plasma, this ETO, whenever we are having the level of the ETO, the exposure to the healthcare worker is also one of the KPIs in our indicators. And the major one, the last but not the least, the reuse of single-use devices. It is a real challenge in our country. I don't know about your country, but in our country, it's definitely really we are facing a big challenge in that. It needs a proper committee to say that which instrument can be reused, for how many times it can be used, who's going to monitor, and who's going to decide that the sterilization is efficient to reuse it for the second patient. And now the new thing has come in the NABH, where they are asking for the consent form. Suppose if you are reusing single-use devices in any patient, then you need to take a separate consent, and you have to tell the patient that we are using it after the proper sterilization. So this was in brief about the Indian scenario. Anyhow, thank you so much. We'll take the questions at the end of the session.
Because again, guidelines somehow the guideline for the in my country, we try this formally. We try this by the Ministry of Health. They making a committee, university professor and practical people trying to how we make our guideline for reusing, but because come interfere with this issue, so couldn't do it this morning.
Thank you.